in-depth study on Gojek proposal. B40 petrol subsidy program ready for cabinet approval. Hello and good evening. I'm Amin Carlos. Welcome to News on 2. The proposal to implement the motorcycle taxi service, or Gojek, is still being refined before being taken to the cabinet next month for approval. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said the ministry was currently conducting an in-depth study on the implementation and legal requirements of e-hailing companies and its impact, especially on safety. Loke, however, admitted the implementation of the Gojek would be seen as helping many youths, especially university students, to earn extra income.
Tetapi dengan adanya motosikal e-hailing ini, mungkin dia dari segi masanya lebih fleksibel. Mereka boleh melihat ini sebagai satu punca pendapatan tambahan semasa mereka belajar. Dan dia juga menyelesaikan isu-isu mobiliti kepada pelajar-pelajar, khususnya di kampus yang mungkin tak ada pengangkutan awam, dan juga ia membolehkan pelajar-pelajar juga terlibat dengan microbusiness.
He said this during an interview with Miri FM. Elaborating further, Loke said if approved, the Gojek service would be implemented in certain places for a specific period before being implemented nationwide. The Transport Ministry is ready to review the order to stop road tax renewals for private vehicles of 2,000cc and above at post offices in Sarawak, Sabah, Langkawi and Penang, effective yesterday. Its Minister Anthony Loke said a meeting will be held with Director General of Road Transport Department, RTD, Dato Sri Shahrudin Khalid, this week to see if the directive was viable. Well, Loke was met after launching the Miri DAP headquarters office, and he said the interests of the local people in the two states must also be taken into account as they need places to renew their road tax, as there were areas in both states where there were no RTD offices. Post Malaysia's recent announcement to suspend road tax renewals for vehicles of 2,000cc and above in post offices in Sarawak, Sabah, Labuan and Langkawi had gone viral on the social media and received negative reactions from the public. Netizens, especially from interior areas of Sarawak, said the move would burden the people who would have to drive more than 3 hours to RTD offices to renew their road tax. Well, police today again reminded the public not to play on sensitive issues, especially anything related to race and religion, in order for peace and harmony to prevail in this country. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Dato Huzair Mohammed said the police will not hesitate to act accordingly if they find any quarters trying to disrupt public order through such means. Well, in a statement today, he said several cases involving sensitive issues are being investigated under Section 505, subsection C of the Penal Code regarding statements made with intent to incite or which are likely to incite any class or community of persons to commit any offence against any other class or community of persons. Investigations are also being conducted under Section 504 of unintentional insult with intent to provoke a breach of the peace. Dr. Huzair said the investigations under Section 504 included the case of preacher Dr. Zakir Naik, whose statement had been recorded by the police, and are awaiting further instruction from the Attorney General's chambers. For offences under Section 505, subsection C, 2 cases are under investigations. That's against Facebook account holder Wan Muhammad Azri Wandaris for disputing the road rage incident, which claimed the life of Syed Muhammad Daniel Syed Shakir on 10th August, and Tycoon Kun Yu Yin for making a statement belittling the Malaysian Armed Forces. The National Registration Department, JPN, has denied allegations that Kepong DAP is planning to register My Cards for illegal immigrants from China, as claimed in a video which went viral on social media. Well, in a statement issued today, it said it was an old video with a wrong message that people who did not have Malaysian citizenship status were holders of temporary and permanent identity cards were rushing to the Kuala Lumpur City Hall office to change their citizenship status. The program, which was organized by the Kepong DAP Parliamentary Office at the end of 2018, was only to provide information on the ways of applying for citizenship and identity card from the NRD. The JPN also urged the public to stop spreading the video to avoid any further confusion which would affect public order. He said legal action would be taken against any person for spreading untrue information. For further information, the public could go to any JPN office or check the JPN official website, that's www.jpn.gov.my, or contact the Corporate Communications Unit at telephone number 03-8880-7077, 7067-7069-8206, or email to pro@jpn.gov.my. 7 illegal immigrants, all female, believed to be working as guest relation officers or GROs, were arrested by the Kedah Immigration Department at an entertainment outlet in Sungai Petani, Kedah, early this morning. Kedah Immigration Director Zuhair Jamaluddin, in confirming the arrest, said 4 of the women were from Thailand, while the other 3 were Lao nationals. They were aged between 23 and 31. Preliminary investigations reveal that the immigrants were allegedly guilty of several offences under the Immigration Act 1959-63 and Immigration Regulations 1963. Well, all of them are being detained at the immigration lockup at the Home Ministry building in Alustar for investigation and would then be sent to the Belantik Immigration Detention Depot in Sept. Well, still in Kedah, an online gambling syndicate which had only started operations 3 days ago was busted after their premises at Kampung Masjid Lama Naka near Padang Terap, Kedah, was raided by the police. 2 men believed to be the operators were arrested. While the suspects had apparently covered the side wall of their premises with a used zinc roof in an attempt to fool the authorities, and Padang Terap Police Chief DSP Noh Idris said the 2 men, aged 28 and 36, admitted to the offence of operating an online gambling activity. While also seized were smartphones equipped with gambling apps from a website and cash. The suspects from Baling and Pendang in Kedah are being remanded for 4 days to facilitate investigations. It was reported that the 2 men had prior criminal records relating to gambling activities. The case is investigated under the Common Gaming Houses Act 1953. Well, the camping trip for 25 friends, which turned tragic after a tree uprooted and fell on 2 of them at Lata Hammer Waterfall in Bentong on Saturday night, was an isolated yet heartbreaking incident. Even more so, as one of the victims was a member of RTM's Mandarin News editorial team, Chin Kian Hua. Well, Chin's next of kin are still distraught over the tragic event, especially his 2 children aged 4 and 9, who are still traumatized by the incident. Meanwhile, Chin's wife, Leong Yao, who was seriously injured, had just successfully undergone a major surgery on her leg at a private hospital in the federal capital. Chin's body has already been claimed by his family from Bentong Hospital and is currently being placed at the funeral center of the Kwong Tong Cemetery, Kuala Lumpur. And family members, relatives, friends and colleagues from RTM paid their last respect today. His body will be buried tomorrow. May Chin rest in peace. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah today visited victims of the recent Kampung Authentic Tanjung Batu Keramat fire nearby Tawau, Sabah. Well, he said he learnt of the fire when he was in Jakarta, Indonesia, recently for a state visit. Well, His Majesty said he wanted to visit the victims as he felt their pain. He also said that he will also be visiting the victims of a fire which broke out in a village in Sungai Lembing, Pahang on National Day. Al Sultan Abdullah also thanked Sabah Yang Di-Pertua Negeri Tun Dr. Juhar Mahiruddin, Chief Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafi Abdal and relevant departments and agencies for arranging his visit to the village today. He also urged the public to show their appreciation to rescue personnel like firemen and policemen for their quick action in stopping the fire from spreading to more homes with no loss of life. During his visit today, Sultan Abdullah presented contributions to 87 household heads affected by the fire on 26 August. His Majesty also attended a briefing given by Sabah Fire and Rescue Department Chief Kamarul Zaman Malik Abdullah and visited the fire scene where 69 homes were destroyed and 511 people left homeless. Government to study proposal to increase retirement age. Subsidy program for the lower 40% income is ready and to be submitted to the Cabinet soon. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Dato' Seri Saifuddin Nasution said several aspects of the proposal still need to be refined, which include mechanism and the applicant's registration. He said the paperwork would have some changes depending on response from the Cabinet.
Dan saya cuma tunggu masa untuk membentangkan kepada mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri dan tertakluk kepada keputusan dan apa-apa pindaan. Saya tidak boleh mendahului Jemaah Menteri kerana ini merupakan satu polisi baharu. Kita belum pernah ada pengalaman melaksanakannya. Sudah tentu anggota Jemaah Menteri mungkin ada beberapa pandangan yang mesti saya hormati, tapi di peringkat tugasan kementerian kami telah pun selesai.
He was met at I Keep Carnival in Lembah Pantai. The ministry had earlier discussed the mechanism plan with the Finance Ministry. The program is part of the initiatives to reduce the cost of living for the B40 household under the 2019 budget. The government will study the proposal to increase the retirement age from 60 to 65 as practiced in several developed countries, including Singapore. Human Resources Minister M. Kulasegaran said the ministry will discuss the matter with the Finance Ministry before making a decision. Elaborating further, Kulasegaran said his ministry had voiced out and forwarded their opinion to the Finance Ministry, including a request to increase the cost of living allowance known as COLA. Well, he said this at a program to plant trees held at Taman Dr. Seni Visagam Ipoh, Perak today. Also present were Kapayang Exco Dr. Ko Chung Sen and Ipoh Mayor Dato' Ahmad Swaidi Abdul Rahim. Asked if the proposal could affect employment opportunities for the younger generation, well, Kulasegaran said the proposed increase in retirement age would benefit the country in the future. And he said the country lacks workforce, but there is no lack of job opportunities. The minister further noted the unemployment in the country were mostly youths, including fresh graduates, and urged them to join technical and vocational training or TVET programs, which would provide them with skills that would increase their job opportunities. A shopping mall in Sri Kembangan, Selangor, carried their corporate social responsibility in conjunction with the Merdeka Month, commendably by organizing several programs and exhibitions based on history, unity and patriotism. Now, the exhibition and ongoing activities are open to all visitors of the mall as part of its efforts to inculcate the love for the country among Malaysians, especially children. Amarin Mall, which opened just 2 years ago, took the initiative to create awareness among the public by holding the Merdeka Month program with the theme Pesta Negaraku Sayang. According to Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Jio, who launched the program today, what the mall is doing should be an example to other companies or shopping malls as a way of strengthening the spirit of patriotism among the people, especially the younger generation.
Saya rasa inisiatif-inisiatif ini ataupun seperti ini harus digalakkan. Dan oleh itu saya hadir di sini selaku menteri untuk melihat buat sendiri sebenarnya apakah yang telah pun dirancangkan, dan saya lihat acara ini adalah satu acara yang baik, ianya berjaya.
Meanwhile, Amarin Mall's Managing Director Lim Kok Hau said he plans to make the mall a pioneer in unifying the people of Malaysia through historical and patriotic programs. The exhibition will be on until 16 September, covering aspects of Merdeka, including information on historical figures and the royal institution. Well, still ahead, protest continues after a weekend of street violence. This and more. The Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today arrived in Phnom Penh for a 3-day official visit to Cambodia. Tun Dr. Mahathir's visit after 25 years was at the invitation of his Cambodian counterpart, Hun Sen. Now, the special aircraft carrying Tun Dr. Mahathir and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma Muhammad Ali, touched down at Phnom Penh International Airport at 9:35 a.m. local time. And upon arrival, he was welcomed by Cambodian Senior Minister in charge of Special Missions, Dato Dr. Othman Hassan. And also present were Foreign Minister Dato Saifuddin Abdullah and Malaysian Ambassador to Cambodia, Ildeen Hussaini Muhammad Hashim. The Premier has a packed schedule during his visit, which include a dialogue session with students, meetings with Muslim community, Malaysian diaspora, as well as business communities. Tun Dr. Mahathir is also expected to attend the wreath-laying ceremony at Cambodia's Independence Monument before attending an official welcoming ceremony at the Peace Palace. Later, he will hold bilateral talks with his Cambodian counterpart, Hun Sen, and both leaders are expected to discuss issues relating to trade and investment, cooperation in agriculture, defense, and halal industry development. Both premiers will also witness the signing of the long-awaited Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement, DTA, and Memorandum of Understanding on Tourism Cooperation. Both prime ministers are also expected to issue a joint statement at the end of the meeting. Concludes this evening's news on 2. In our top story, in-depth study on Gojek proposal. Well, do join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. From all of us here, we wish you a very good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos. See you soon.